this audience was probably 25 years or so ago.
Who asked for an encore?
I'm not sure. But anyway, back at that time, I did it with a Julia Child's voice, and I cannot do that anymore because I have some physical impairments. But anyway, I do love doing this kind of thing, and I do it throughout the United States and actually some internationally. So,
are you going to be at the fair again this year?
I will be at the fair in 2010.
Okay.
In
Minnesota Fair.
In the products building or special creative?
They're thinking about putting me in the either the arena or the grandstand
or the swine bar.
Or the swine bar.
Thank you.
But I've expanded my teaching a little bit over the years here, and so I know that you just can't wait to hear what I'm going to tell you today, and I have to confess that I'm waiting to find out what that's going to be too, because I do this unscripted. But I'd like to talk a little bit about safety features first of all today. And I'm just going to set this iron because this being preheated. I'm going to set it over here, and when you do that, make sure. I don't want to repeat this. That it is not faced outward towards anything. You want to face this towards the wall if you're putting it on the floor, because tragic things could happen.
I'd like to know what those tragic things
Well,
are.
2 weeks ago I burned myself right here. It was with a hot piece of metal.
Had nothing to do with
I was barbecuing at the time. And I forgot, in my excitement to pull the meat off, I forgot to pull the probe off on the thermometer. I got 2 pieces of meat on the plate that were done. And I was pulling the 3rd piece off, but I forgot to pull the probe out of the meat, so it kind of dragged over the grill or whatever. Anyway, that hot piece touched me right here, and it made me go like that. And so the meat fell on the deck. It was on the plate. And so I did want to tell you that I took all safety precautions there too. I picked the meat up and put it back on the grill for the required 30 seconds to cook off all germs. So we're fine. Lisa didn't know anything about it
until right now.
Your arm, it was the talking probe, and it said your meal is now ready.
I forgot to mention that part. When the probe touched me, it's a electronic deal, and it said, "Your meal is almost ready." Thank you, Lisa, for that.
Roger, is that smoke coming off the
Make sure that it is not lead-based paint.
So does that mean you're well done?
Well, it was half-baked.
I think he's
Yes, thank you very much.
I think he's a rare bird.
Roger, in regard to safety, do you have to wear steel-toed shoes when you drop the iron?
If you're inexperienced, you do.
How do you know if you're experienced?
I've been in this business for a long time, and quite frankly, I'm a little insulted to do that. So,
Can you show us your burn again?
The burn is right here.
Okay, yeah.
Just see
Okay,
that.
just
It's healing very nicely. Thank you for asking.
Watch the iron of the small children.
Okay.
Small children in there.
Now, small children, remember there's a hot iron over here. Be careful.
We'll try.
Okay? Can I promise that? Right. One thing that people often forget is is somebody talking about? Is the ironing board itself. It is far overlooked. This is a pretty nice one. As I travel around the nation and I go into the various houses, it is surprising what you see in terms of equipment.
Maybe we can have it in
Is there an adjustable handle here that somebody could help me out? Who does this ironing board belong to?
Experienced.
I grew up with this ironing board.
Does it belong to you?
No.
One thing I
Step
do
away from
demand
the board.
that they listen very carefully to what I say. You remember what I said.
Can everybody help me, please?
I did not say that. Can anybody else help me here? What did I say? What was the question I asked? Whose hiring board does this belong to? Is there anyone here?
Can anyone really help in our
Well, I'll have to ask for a volunteer. Do I have any volunteers? Thank you, Janice. Would you be the owner of this ironing board? Could you show us exactly how you would adjust that? If it's, how it's in storage first. Very nicely done.
And if you're in a hurry, you just whip her around.
That's
Put her
enough.
up against the wall.
I didn't
and then
ask
you
for
put a
that
towel
one.
on.
Okay.
Much
So
information.
now,
Go sit back down now.
this is an ironing board. It's a classic one. We can tell by its construction that it was made in the 60s.
Or 50s.
It could be 50s, but there's one piece of detail that would say that it's from the 60s.
Paint?
No, I will tell you that later. After I have done the research. So if somebody would turn the computer on during the intermission,
Is there an intermission?
we'll do a little research on that. Okay.
The first intermission.
Oh.
One thing, you'll note that it's very sturdy construction. That's important
Does this
from a
remind you-
safety standpoint. You don't want the ironing board to be tipping over on you. Can anybody,
Yes.
does anybody know why that might be?
Because you might get hurt,
In what fashion?
burned,
Well, at this point, we don't have the iron on the board.
scrapes, broken bones.
Very good.
Smushed.
I have an autograph book that I'll give you. Kathy.
For
Do you
1995.
love coffee?
Oh, thank you so much.
Would that be hot?
Is it hot or cold? Well, then
It's a little-
heat it up, please, a little bit.
It's a little peppery.
Okay.
It's a little peppery.
That's pepper in it. Careful.
I assume this yours is cold.
That's not mine.
Who says that?
I don't know. Isn't it the cat's?
Oh, it must be yours.
You're the best teacher.
God, bringing it to you. He's a teacher now.
Okay,
But you could also poke your eye out.
this is true. Thank you.
Janice could. Do you wear
Okay.
Do you wear glasses or safety goggles?
That's your choice. If you have a Walmart in your town,
We do.
nearby, good then.
That too.
You've got a lot of choices there.
Great.
Bifocals are suspected.
Okay, let's move on a little bit here. There are some
Yeah,
nice, what?
Yeah, that's
There are some nice features here on this ironing board. One of which is a nice pad. Although you want to be careful which fabric you're using with that, because if you're using it, I'm going to explain it. If you're using a heavy iron, it will tend to push down too much in the fabric, and then you'll get an extra crease in your material. The other thing that's very important about
You
this
haven't missed a lot.
is you see here, and I'll show this from this side of the room a little bit. You can see that there's kind of a mesh work in metal there, where it is. There's holes there.
Infomercial is that what you're referring
There's
to?
holes there. You see those holes?
I see them.
Most people think that that is a way to cut